This is Marty Stewart with SeminarSecrets.com. You can hear the complete version of this big seminar interview by going to www.SeminarSecrets.com.
So the first thing I'd like to do today is welcome everyone to the Big Seminar Preview Series. My name is Armand Morin, and tonight's call is a very special call. In fact, it's with one of my favorite internet marketers of all time, and that happens to be me. And what we're going to talk about tonight is many, many different topics, but before I even get into all the different things that we're going to cover, I want to first tell you about something very special, that's happening on March 19th, 20th, and 21st in Orlando, Florida, where there's going to be the largest internet marketing conference that's ever been held in the United States. I know Mr. Silver set a very high standard for us. Yannick Silver, as many of you know, had his birthday bash last weekend, had just a tremendous amount of people there. Heard it was a fantastic event, so congratulations to Yannick if he's on the call. But I can tell you this. My goal is to be Yannick. We have some great speakers that are going to be with us. One of them happened to be Saffron that was on this call, Alex Mondosian. Yannick Silver is going to be there. Jimmy Brown, who very rarely speaks in public, has told me that he will be there with Belzon. We're going to have Allie Brown, Alexandria Brown. The E-Zine Queen's going to be there. Stephen Pierce, the man that is just tremendous. You know, Stephen is one of those rare marketers that, he amazes me. Some people ask me, how much I work because I create a lot of products and I release a lot of things. Well, I think there's only one person on the internet that has ever done or does more than I do, and that is Stephen Pierce, because he's always coming up with something new. You may not see it as far as releasing it as a product-wise, but I can tell you he's one of the hardest working people on the internet today, and he just amazes me. So you're in for a real treat. He's going to be talking about his Pierce Power Plays. That's only 27 of his Pierce Power Plays. I just saw one of them, and I was amazed because it was from an angle I've never even seen before. So Stephen's going to be talking about his Pierce Power Plays. We have people like Mike Stewart. We have David Garfinkel is going to be with us. Fred Gleek, who we just talked with the other day on the phone. Fred's going to be with us at the big seminar talking about many things that he's never talked about before. There's just so many people. We have Michael Fortin, definitely the greatest copywriter on the internet today. He's going to be with us, and I'm really excited about that because I love Michael Fortin's work. I look at Michael Fortin's portfolio as just a tremendous learning tool just to see how he writes copy, if I can figure it out, which is not all that possible many times, but he's going to be there. Jim Edwards. Jim doesn't speak very often in public, but Jim's going to be with us at the big seminar. And there's many, many other people. In fact, I'm working right now, and I'm not going to tell you who it is. All I'm going to do is tell you this. It's one of the biggest names in the world today, not just the internet, but the world today, a person that sold over 80 million books across the world. He's authored many books. You can walk into any bookstore and see his name on the bookshelf, someone that everyone knows, loves, and wants to get to know better. And this person I'm working on getting to the big seminar, and I'm going to find out probably tomorrow. This person's not on my website. This person hasn't been talked about before on one of my conference calls. But this person is going to make you really excited and make you want to come to the big seminar. Because, folks, the big seminar is not just all about making money. It's about networking as well, too. And you're going to be able to hang out, talk to, and build an instant $1 million Rolodex. And plus, on top of everything else, not only are you going to learn how to make money on the internet in 72 hours, and that sounds like a lot of hype, but it's actually true. Lives have been changed by the big seminar, as you can see by many of the testimonials on our website. But you're also going to have an opportunity to receive a 2004 Mustang convertible. I'm actually giving away a 2004 Mustang convertible, much against what many people have told me. They said, no, don't do that. Don't give away a Mustang convertible. Don't give away, something like that at a seminar. I said, well, why not? What's the difference? Someone is going to go home with this. And I don't know who it is. It could be you. It could be a person sitting next to you. But the odds, I can tell you this, the odds are great. If I have between 500 and 600 people at this seminar, which I definitely plan to have, the odds are great that it could be you. 1 in 600 is a pretty good odds at the very most. So we're really excited about that. That's, again, a great deal. We're going to have it right there at the seminar. We got a lot of things planned for the seminar. We have a great networking experience. You have the ability to build an instant $1 million Rolodex. There's everything there. And I'm going to tell you something later on in this call. I'm going to tell you something later on in this call that will just make a difference. If you're thinking about going to the big seminar right now, and I know I'm going on a little bit longer than my normal pitch today, but if you're looking to come to the big seminar, I'm going to give you a reason why later on in this call. This reason why, well, you can hear all these hype, all this commercial and stuff like this, but the reason why is this. I won't offer this again on another call because this is my interview tonight, and I'm taking advantage of it, and I'm going to offer what I want to offer tonight on this call, and you're going to have a reason why, and it's going to be really good, so stay tuned for that. But right now, I'd like to introduce our next guest for the call today, and we're going to make the introduction very sweet because the guest is me. And tonight, I'm going to do something that I don't normally do, and that is just tell you flat out how to make money online. Let's start with the basics. Let's start with the basics, and let's start with some of the things that people aren't doing. Now, every now and then, I take on a coaching client. I'm not really big into coaching online because I tend to want to try to do it myself, and I just don't have time for things like that. But every now and then I coach with people, and we sit down for about an hour, and I tell them the things that they're doing right, I tell them the things that they're doing wrong, and how to fix it and how to make it better. The people that listen to me, they turn around, their businesses turn around almost instantly. I can tell you how to fix any business in just a matter of a few short minutes, usually, at least increase it from what it's currently doing, and with some obvious things. Now, it's not going to be a cure-all for everything, but some obvious things. And what I want to do is I want to start off with some of the obvious mistakes that people are doing online right now. The first thing is this, and let's talk about email capture, because email capture on the Internet is something that people aren't doing enough of, and here's what I mean. When a person comes to your website, the first thing that you need to understand is the odds are they are not going to buy your product. In fact, if you're really successful, 97% of the people will not buy your product. That's if you're successful. If you're unsuccessful, maybe only 99 people will not buy your product or service. You see, but what about all those other people? What about all those people that are not buying? I mean, what about those 97 or 99 people that are not buying out of every 100? What are you doing with them? Do you have a way to capture them? Do you have a way to grab their email address? Do you have a way that you can follow up with them and try to convince them to buy your product or service? You see, the Internet itself is all about sales. People are afraid of sales. You are afraid of sales right now, and that's fine. Because the Internet gives anybody that's afraid of sales that can't do it face-to-face the opportunity to do it in a very passive way, which you set up once and never have to deal with again. And let me give you some examples. Well, the only way, before I even give you an examples, I need to tell you how to capture the email address. Okay, so let's talk about capturing the email address. And let's talk about the ways that have worked most effective in capturing email addresses on your website. Well, the first thing is how many email addresses should you be capturing on your website? You're not going to capture 100% of the people that come to your website, so get over it right now. It's not going to happen. This is just a fact. Now, how many should you? What's acceptable? Well, to me, acceptable is between 12 and 20%. That's acceptable. Some people have told me they've collected up to as high as 30%. Well, there's a couple different ways that you can do this, but there's 4 things I think you should have on your website. Okay, and this is on your website itself. Now, imagine this. Okay, I want you to just close your eyes. I want you to envision a website. Envision your own website. And I want you to experience I want you to feel the experience that a person has when they come to your website. Your website comes up on the browser. all of a sudden the website loads, and then boom, immediately a little gray window pops up in front of them. It's not a pop-up. In fact, it looks like a Windows error message. Okay? And we're going to talk about how to do this, where to go, how to get it, and everything else on this call. But it looks like a Windows error message. It says maybe a free subscription to your newsletter. It says, congratulations, you just won a free subscription to my blah, blah, blah newsletter. And if by simply clicking the OK button below, you're going to receive this, and this. To continue and get your free subscription immediately, simply click the OK button, and that's it. Have a great day. Do it now. And then when you click the OK button, their email is automatically sent to your autoresponder. And if you don't have one, we'll talk about that as well today. But it's immediately sent to your autoresponder, and they're signed up for your list. Does that make sense? We're going to talk about the details again in a moment. Now, as a person scrolling down the page, you look at your sales letter, hopefully you have an intriguing headline that grabs the person's attention, so they're going to stay on your site. They're going to start reading what you have to say. You've piqued their interest enough to read at least the first few paragraphs and get past the first fold in your website. And for those of you that don't know what I mean by the first fold in your website, it's the part that's actually shown without having to scroll. That's your first fold. And as you scroll down, you're seeing the rest of the website. As you scroll down the website, when you get about 3/4 of the way down the page, all of a sudden, there's another opportunity to grab that person's email address. Now, a couple things you need to remember in why this works. This place that's the 3/4 of the way down the page is going to be the most popular place that you're going to get the email address. Why? Because you've just built 3/4 of the page. They've read 3/4 of your sales letter. Do you think they trust you at this point? Did you create some kind of rapport? Did you create a relationship to some extent with that person at this point? Of course you did. You see, you built that trust, so now they're more likely to give you their name and their email address. You see, you have to understand that the more information you ask for online, the less information you'll get. What do I mean? Well, if you ask for name, address, phone number, and email address, very few people are going to do all that. They feel it's an invasion of privacy, especially if they don't know you yet. If you ask for just name, first name, last name, phone number, and email address, you're going to get fewer people. If you just ask for first name and email address, which is, in my opinion, the bare minimum that you want to ask for, you'll get a lot more people to subscribe. Again, the less information you ask for, the more people that will subscribe to your opt-in. So what should you ask for? First name and then your email address at the bare minimum. You could just ask for the email address. Why would I want the first name? So I could personalize an email to them at some point later that I want to send an email. See, I always want to use their first name. The first name is important. The more you use their first name, the better. I was just talking with someone today. I was talking with a coaching client today. And they were trying to contact and make themselves known among some well-known marketers. And they couldn't figure out how to do it. Here's my suggestion, is to put their name in the headline. You see, your favorite subject is you. My favorite subject is me. It's true. We like talking about ourselves. That may sound vain, and some of you may be saying, no, not really. I like fishing. But no, you like you fishing. You like you telling stories about fishing. You like you sitting out in the water catching fish, right? So therefore, your favorite subject is you. And everybody is the same thing. We all like to hear our name. We like to read about ourselves. There's nothing wrong with that. That's just human nature. Don't feel bad. But if I wanted to catch someone's attention, what would I say? Let me give you an example. If you came to my site, let's say if you came to my BigSeminar site, and your name was John. Let's say your name was, let's use one of our speakers. Let's just say your name was John Childers, who's going to be speaking at the BigSeminar. And all of a sudden you looked at the headline and it said, John Childers wins a 2004 Mustang convertible at the BigSeminar in Orlando. Read on to find out more information. Would that get your attention more? Instead of someone could win a brand new 2004 Mustang convertible in Orlando. Which is more effective? John Childers wins a 2004 Mustang convertible, or someone wins a 2004 Mustang convertible. You see? There's a difference. How can you do this? Well, you can say, well, but that requires a little work and everything else, and that's true. It takes a little bit of time and a little bit of energy to do, and there's some automated tools which we'll talk about as we go on that you can do things like that on a website. But there's also you can do that in your emails. Think about this. If you're using the person's first name in a headline on your emails, you're going to get their attention more rather than just their deal. See, most people try to make their email sound personal. And is that right or is it wrong? It's neither. It depends how you look at it. It's not wrong. I do it all the time. But am I doing it right? Have I tested the system? Have I seen to find out what works more effective? Well, here's what works more effective is if I made my subject line in my email an actual headline. You see, I've only got X number of characters to work with when I'm setting a subject line in an email, so I want to get the most out of it. And so what if I use your first name? John, you just won a 2004 Mustang convertible. Does that sound good? Would that fit in a subject line? Yes. Well, I know my lawyer's on the phone, so you'd probably say, well, that's probably not accurate. He didn't just win. But what you can do is this: is you could say, John, you could win. Okay, John, you could win in Orlando. Okay, is that a headline? Yes. Would you have to open it up to find out the rest of the details? Yes. See, what's the purpose of a subject line? To just get the person to read the email. That's the only purpose. There is no other purpose. Okay? What's the purpose of an email? To get them to click on a link. Is there anything else that should be told in an email? No. That is where people are making mistakes. You'd be surprised how many emails I get. And I just want to give you an example. I'm just going to look at the last couple emails I got, and I can guarantee you that, okay, now I don't have my email window open very large, but, I just got like one. Let me see if I had to scroll down 1, 2, 3. I had to scroll down 3 times just in my email just to read one email that I got today. And let's see. Let's check out another one. And I'm not just talking about my own, but I'm talking about many other people's. If you're advertising something, people are lazy. Get that through your mind. Write that down right now. People are lazy. You see, even though scrolling is a very minimal amount of work, and some people claim it's exercise, but it's not. You don't want your people to have to go through a whole exercise in order to read your email or to get them to do what you want or to get your message across. You want the message to be, boom, automatically shown to them in short, concise words. Very straight to the point. That is going to get your message across. What's the purpose of the email? To get them to click a link, not multiple links. People are not going to click multiple links. They're going to click one link. And if I'm going to have that one link, I might put it 2 or 3 times in that short email to make it more effective for them. But what I want you to do is I just want you to get through your head that the email that we're having right now is the email that you're sending should be very short. It should be to the point, and it should only be done to get the person to click on that one link. That's it. So again, the purpose of a subject line is to get them to read the email. The purpose of an email is to get them to click on the link. Okay? Right now, that should be your mantra. Click on the link. Okay? Click on the link. Now,
you have just listened to a portion of this Big Seminar interview. To get the complete version, simply go to www.seminarsecrets.com. Find out how you can attend the next Internet Marketing Big Seminar. And for a very special offer you can't refuse, visit www.seminarsecrets.com.